All right. Welcome, guys. And you are not able to see us. You're only seeing the Sim Standard little wording there, and you're hearing our voices. But I will explain that to you here in a moment. I'm just gonna make sure everything is streaming correctly, and we will explain to you what's going on. So give me just a second. But first and foremost, man, we like to welcome everybody who's currently here and everybody who will be showing up to the Sim Standard Podcast with your hosts, SimFBallCritic, along with Smitty. But anyway, guys, just having a little fun there. Yeah, man, we appreciate you guys who are already here. You're not going to see us because guess what I did? I did an update to Skype as soon... Oh, wait a minute. What? Well, y'all know I'm watching the preseason. Oh, man, Terrell Edmonds got an interception. Too bad he's out of bounds, though. And by the way, Steelers fans, if you're listening, Mason Rudolph throws a pick six on the first play of the game. What is going on? But anyway, so let me tell you guys what I did now. Y'all know I'm very new to the PC scene, right? Y'all already know that. Y'all know I'm a novice to that. So as I'm loading up Skype and I see, Smitty in there, and I see his name in there, I'm about to call Smitty. A little message pops up and it says, "Hey, would you like to update Skype? New and improved, bug fixes." I was like, "Oh, great." And it said, "Guess what? It won't take that long." Oh, that sounds good to me. I do the update, and guess what happens? As soon as I do the update, now Skype is not being recognized when I do window capture. So I'm unable to get Smitty's mug on the camera. So there you have it. That's why you're dealing with this once again. You guys have already dealt with that once before. It is what it is. You're just going to have to listen to us and, hey, treat it like a normal podcast where you don't see the people. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and let you guys know what we're going to talk about. As I see, the Steelers just got scored on once again. Most of the starting, well, not necessarily. There's a lot of starters out on the defense, but still it's Aaron Rodgers, but still they've scored. So I'm not happy. I'm going to go back and analyze this game, of course, after probably sometime tomorrow. But anyway, guys, we're going to talk about Madden bugs, talk about what we see and what we expect from NBA Live 19 so far with the little news that we have. And we're going to do the same for NBA 2K19. We also will be bringing on Brett Lee. If you guys remember from a few weeks back, Brett is a former EA developer, worked on Madden and some other games. Fight Night was one of the games he worked on. So he definitely wants to come on and give his thoughts in terms of the things that he's currently seeing in the game. And I assume he's just going to give us his overall thoughts on the game itself. So that's what we're basically going to talk about here, guys. Just talk about some of the wild stuff going on. It's a bug that I just put out there in case you guys didn't see it. Shameless plug. Franchise bug for us guys who play offline. My Lord. I'm not even going to spill the beans. I'm going to put the video in here and let you guys take a look at it when you get a chance. Wow. And I want to preface it by saying this, Smitty, because a lot of people were trying to give me a reason as to what it could have been. And I didn't say this in the video, so it's my bad. This is week 3 preseason, year 1. This means that it wasn't a sim year. It wasn't nothing like that. It's the current year. There's no re-signing that needs to happen. And it's week 3. And you saw all of them players in free agency. I mean, what in the world? But, hey, there you have it. So anyway, man, before we get started, I'm going to check with Brett and see if he's ready to come on. Let's throw it to Smitty. Man, how was your week? And outside of that, anything else you want to mention before we dive into the topics?
Well, I didn't get to see the Lions game, so, I missed that because they had a very late start, and I forgot about it because it was in Oakland. So, the game didn't start till, 10:30 here, and then, plus with family, like spending time with the wife and all that and everything, I didn't even think about it, so I lost full track of that. But it's cool to see that we were able to move the ball some. It's cool to see that our line was blocking, but it's still preseason action. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
not like, this is what all the chips and all the marbles are down. Like, what kind of team are they going to be? Especially the run game. That's the biggest offensive concern I got. So, excuse me. So, see what's up with that. But other than that, I mean, yeah, can't wait to get into this, discussion. Talk about this Madden basketball stuff heating up. Yo, in a few weeks, it's about to be crazy because if you now look, if
I know where you're going.
If you, I mean, I'm just saying it like this because September is 7th, particularly. If you bought or reserved the 2K edition, the $100 joint, that comes out. Live 19 drops that day, and Spider-Man comes out the exact same day.
Man, Spider-Man ain't playing. Did you see that?
Yeah, that Spider-Man is ill. Yeah, I seen all the trailers.
Oh my god! But did you see this guy? I don't know where it was at. Probably New York or something, where they painted the whole subway car.
No, I didn't.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to find it, yo.
It's
right. Spider-Man people going crazy out there. I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you.
I can't wait for that game. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And what's crazy, I thought that was a multi-plat, but I forgot that's a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, so that's a PlayStation exclusive joint. So, but yeah, also, like we all know, around this time we get hit with that initial patch for Madden. You know what I'm saying? I don't say this date, but you know what I'm saying. In September, typically, is when we get that first title update. And then now what's going to happen as far as the game is concerned. So, we'll get into everything here, man. Just excited.
Oh, let's go, James Conner! Oh, my bad. Listen, guys, y'all know how crazy we are, and y'all know I'm crazy when I'm live. James Conner getting off out there. I get excited, man, and I know y'all all do too, so y'all don't really mind. I'm getting excited watching football right now, especially next week, Smitty, when we get to see what our teams really kind of got a little bit, because it's that tune-up game.
Yep.
But, oh, man, hold on. Oh, it was a face mask. Cool. But, yeah, man, this is the time of the year, guys, where this is what I love about football for me, because I'm a fanatic, and this is how I learn the team, and not only learn – I know most of the players, but you get to see who really has what. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm always tuned in the preseason. So if y'all hear me make a couple of out-of-the-way remarks, this is why. Because I'm looking here to the right. Y'all can't see it. Smitty can see it, but I'm watching the game. But, yeah, man, September's going to be real, brother. Listen, man, whether you hate or love 2K basketball, James Conner in for 6. That's what I'm talking about. Oh. Yo, this boy getting off. Give me a second to gloat, man. This boy is getting off, Smitty. That's what I'm talking about. I guess because Mason Rudolph throws a pick 6 in the first play, they going to just ride James Conner all the way. My man is slimmed down some. By the way, Madden, and any of you guys who play with the Steelers, y'all see how big and bulky they got him? I've already talked to, Equipment Guru about that. Y'all got to get that man's body type right. But anyway, September's going to be nice, man. Listen, guys, we bang on 2K a lot. We bang on Madden a lot. We bang on Live a lot. But we're gamers. I'm pretty sure I can speak for Smitty as well. I'm sure we're going to be playing all of these games. I don't think I'm getting a $100 joint. I can wait on that.
Right.
But let's face it, and I'm going to say this later in the show for people who really need to hear this. 2K is probably going to be, once again, my franchise experience, my full-blown franchise experience. It gives me everything that I want, along with MLB The Show. But that's probably going to be it, because we don't know. Let's save this conversation until we get to the live part. But, we just don't know a lot yet. So, anyway, man, let me throw it to Smitty. I'm about to bring, and actually we'll bring him on first, man. Let's go ahead and get Brett on. He said he's ready to go. And Silent Gamer, a.k.a. Virtual Footballer, man, if you're listening I know you asked to come on too, so just let me know when you're ready. I'll be happy to bring you on as well. And if you are listening, make sure you plug numerous times the First and Frame Rates podcast. Love what you guys do over there. So just let me know when you're ready to come on. I don't know. I can't remember, Smitty, if he's been on since we've been on Skype. So VF, I will say we're on Skype now. So if you if we haven't had you on via Skype before, just hit me up on Twitter. You can shoot me a DM or something like that. Shoot me your information and I'll get you on. But let's go ahead and grab Brett. Let's add him to the call here. Where do I do it? Here, go right here. Where is the... Oh, there it is. I'm bugging. Add people to the call. There we go. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of liking this incognito, man. Not necessarily being on camera. I don't know. We might give it to y'all this way all the time. We'll see. Because sometimes me and Smitty got stuff to do, man. You got to be mindful of the camera. You know what I mean? You might want to blow your nose or something. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. You never know what you might have to do, man. Your wife might walk in and want to give you a kiss or something. You never know. So we might hit y'all.
I got my daughter with me today. My wife ain't home yet, so she gonna be coming in asking me to cut on Dora for her after every episode.
See,
so
that's what I'm saying.
Already, that interruption is gonna be happening tonight, so you may even hear her a few times. So, I'm gonna mute myself as I can, but you know what I mean. So, but it is what it is. So
we might as well just start going voices, man. I don't know. And I'm going to put this out there again, man. I'm asking for you guys' help, both for Sim Standard Podcast and the Terrible Towel Podcast. If anybody out there is good with backgrounds and thumbnail, whatever, please show your love and donate us a nice background that we can throw up for the podcast. And boom, you'll just see that and hear voices. And again, like I said, for the Steelers thing, I would love somebody to help me out with that because I'm just not good with that kind of stuff, but just an open invitation. But anyway, man, we got our guy Brett Lee on, rocking that Cowboys hat, I see.
That's right. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much, man. Happy to have you on, man. And just to introduce the people again that may have missed you the first time. Brett, guys, is and again, I don't like to use the word ex. I'd rather say former because that sounds more like he left on his own terms. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Now he's a former dev for EA. Worked on Madden and Fight Night, I believe. And if there's something I missed, he could definitely.
Oh, Tiger. The first
on Tiger. That's right. There you go. So we definitely want to get his opinion, man. I'm gonna let him kick it off. Let's talk about Madden first in terms of your overall thoughts on the game now that you've played it, the bugs, and the reaction to the bugs from the community.
Okay, man. Just bear with me because I got some things to really talk about. I'm just getting back from my vacation. If you guys want to take a vacation, go to Hawaii, bro.
Ooh.
Go to Hawaii, bro. It was just something that was just it was phenomenal. But when I got back right in time, and the release was going to come out. And so I had 4 things that I wanted to talk about. But after doing a little bit of research, I kind of got a little squashed on one of them. And one of my issues graphics, the color, and I was, I'm playing it, and I'm like, God, this game is not looking right. It was looking real dark. The shadows wasn't right. I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right. And I forgot that it supports HDR on Sony.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So for all listeners right now, if you got a nice TV and you got HDR, turn them settings on, man. Because the minute I turned them on, it was drastically different. The game looked like, okay, now I see what you're talking about. So I can't talk about that now, which was good. I was glad that I fixed that aspect of it. I don't know if you guys caught on how many units were sold last week. Did you find out?
Nah, I did. Smitty might know. I know he stepped away for a moment, but I didn't actually get a chance to check that out.
It was 130 million.
What?
Including PS4, Xbox, and PC. It was 130 million. I'll forward you the link after I get off of this. 130 million
Of Madden copies.
of Madden copies. So I did an
Oh
average
my
of
God.
$65 per copy, right? You know what that added up to be? 8.6 billion. Okay?
Wow.
They're making 8.6 billion. Now that's not just, they're sharing that revenue with the NFL and everybody else. So when they're making that type of money, then you start thinking, oh, they're not gonna never listen to what we have to say, but they will. You can't think that because they want to make more money. Therefore, we gotta make sure they satisfy us so they can make more money. Because it is at the end of the day, it's the bottom line for them. It's about their money. It's unfortunate that's that way, but that's what it is. So I got some issues that I wish that I'm going to discuss about it, and I don't want it to seem like I'm bashing again because I'm not. It's called constructive criticism. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not going to sit there and badmouth it at all. But we're passionate about it because this is the game we want to play, and this is the game that we want. We want the best out of both worlds. I'm sorry, I had to look at my man for the Jets real quick. I love that rookie quarterback, man. He's going to be all right.
Oh, don't worry. They can't see us tonight anyway. It's just us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So so one of my first things that I did when I first was playing the game, I was liking what I saw, considering what I saw at EA Play.
Right.
But I do believe that it was rushed. I do believe that with the game being released earlier than it has. I don't know if you know what the cycle of testing it, but like how pre-alpha, alpha, pre-beta, beta.
Right.
Class A bugs, Class B bugs. Class A bugs is considered any crashes. Class B bugs is considered some serious issues that you need to fix. I think that right now I felt like I'm playing a beta, maybe a pre-beta game with a lot of Class B bugs. And I think that with the fact that we can download patches, it's kind of like when I worked on Tiger PC. They used to ship the game with so many bugs, but they had deadlines to make, and they knew that they could send a patch out. So they went ahead and sent it out and then created patches to fix the game. And I think that they got into that situation considering they want to rush and put the game out because some of these issues that I'm finding, it's like, come on, you guys. It's like this game should not be shipped out with these type of issues. Case in point, I think I showed you a video of the offensive line counters. If you're playing and if you bump the speed too fast, counters cannot work at all.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where they stay in the same animation. It's like, stuff like that. I think that needs to be fixed, as well as I think the offensive defensive line play needs to be worked over entirely. There's too many instances where there's offensive linemen just standing around and they stuck in animations, stuff like that. I think they need to fix. I think that the whole putting a defensive lineman on spy is taking way too much of controlling the center of the field. I think these defensive tackles and defensive linemen are becoming like incredible athletes that can knock ball down, pick off balls. And it's no way, to me, I watch football all my life. And when a defensive lineman drops back in a zone, then he's playing the pass. But you don't really ever see a tackle playing a spy that deep and being able to control the area. If they're playing that deep, they play zone. They're not playing a spy. Linebackers play spies. Defensive end plays containment. Defensive tackles either play zone or bring that heat. That's it. So now you got these defensive tackles controlling the middle of the field and it's just dictating everything, and it's just a little too much. I think they need to tone it down where now you have to press the L1 to throw over the guy, but if you do that, he's susceptible to get clacked across the middle and drop the ball. So some tuning with that needs to be fixed. I'm always gonna have issues with creating playbook. When we already talked about that. Creating playbook is it's there, but it's not there, and it still needs some work with that. some of the other issues, the slow running, like the slow burst running, where guys it seem like they still stuck in cement, especially going like running in the middle of the hole. I think that needs to be fixed a little bit more. A little bit more. I think the acceleration burst needs to be a little bit to be adjusted. But for the most part, I think the improvement of the game is there. I think it has a lot of potential of being one of the best Maddens out there. I'm not gonna lie. It's just it
Yeah.
has fixed a lot of issues that we've been complaining about. And I think that if they continue to hear some of the things that we want to be fixed, it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. And then the bug that you brought out today, for example, with the free agency bug.
Oh man.
I mean that the good part about that, Sim, what you bringing that out. What I love about it is this. Now that also for all you guys that are so thirsty to play these franchise leagues, this shows you that it's not done. It's not ready to start those leagues yet. Because could you imagine you playing like the Jags and they release Patrick Ramsey, you lose your mind, And I know when the majority of the leagues that I play in, every team's taken, and I know nobody would do that, but
Right.
it
Yeah.
also lets you know that the logic of free agency needs some work, and some other aspects need some work. So everybody just wanting to play franchise mode, just be a little patient. Let the patch come out. Let it fix some of the issues that we feel that needs to be fixed, and then it will get there. It will get there. Just got to be a little patient. Hopefully, EA is listening to some of the things the concerns we have. But I'm gonna tell you, and I just did this whole thing with my HDR TV. I mean, this game looks phenomenal. I was just like, I'm blown away. Like, oh my God, now I see what you're talking about. This game looks like the game that we've been really wanting to look. And it's still got room to grow. That's the best thing about it. It has a lot of room to grow. So, yeah, but as of right now, I'm still checking out some more things that the zone play. Oh, that's another thing too. Some of the zones, especially the cover six inverted, it has some issues where if you don't select protect the sticks, the guys are wide open across the middle. They don't stay in their zone. But I don't want that to be where, in order to stay in your zone, you got to say protect the sticks. Because now it's just like the defense is too locked down. So it needs to be something with that. The logic with that needs to be fixed as well. But we'll get there, y'all. We're going to get there. This game's going to be nice. I can't wait to get started with my franchises. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Man, and it's crazy because I said this earlier, and I said I'm going to continue to say it throughout the show, man, in case guys come in later. That bug that I showed today, that's year one. That's what really threw me. Like, because even if it was, say I simmed a year or I already played a year and it's free agency, I'd be like, whoa, that's still crazy. But this was year one. I haven't even gotten to the regular season. So that lets me know that the CPU cut all of these players. I mean, Ramsey, Carson Wentz, Ajayi, Fletcher Cox. I'm like, what is going on? Because, I was about to, because, I always do an offline franchise for YouTube, a series or whatever. So I'm going in there and I'm getting a video together like, yo, I'm showing you guys, I'm trying to build to see if we can bolster up, the inside linebacker position or something. And I'm scrolling. I said, wait a minute. Why is this dude available? So I said, let me look at the top 100. And when I seen Jalen Ramsey and Leonard Fournette and Carson Wentz, I said, okay, this is a problem. This has to be a problem.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to comment on, man, then I want to get Smitty's take.
Uh-oh.
Something you said is I want people to really pay attention to this because let's just say I know this to be true. Guys, every year there's a decision made. Just like Brett said. And I'm not going to go into detail because I can't allow you guys to pry as into what. But let me just go this far. Every year there's a decision made as to what bugs the game is going to launch with. I don't think that should be a secret by now. I think the common consumer can figure that out. And they have patches in place. Got a lot of us guys that was in on the beta, we would know that. Like, yo, thank you for the feedback. We're going to be able to get to this. because they have deadlines. Now I'm not excusing them. I'm just saying that's the way it works. They have deadlines, and sometimes there's things that arise too late, or it's gonna take a little more work. If we fix that, it might break this.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
My only disappointment with it, Brett and Smitty, is this is the second year, man, that I can say these are the most bugs I remember seeing. Like, I'm seeing some crazy stuff.
Crazy. Yeah, man. Me too, man. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. And I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I saw this one bug that I believe it was the Eagles playing, and it was one of the guys I play in my franchise league, and the quarterback couldn't get tackled for at least 2 minutes. It was like everybody just jumping on top of him. He was breaking tackles all the way down the field, and he couldn't get tackled. He was just breaking off tackles. There was nothing they could do. The whole team, eventually, the whole defensive team had a crack at him, and they couldn't get down. It's like, come on, you guys. And then this is the biggest ones. The sideline boundaries is not good at all. I'm playing with my Cowboys, and Zeke is doing a drag route. He went past the sideline, past all the way to the stands. And he didn't stop. I was able to throw the ball out of bounds that way. It's like, where's they don't have the boundaries on the sideline corrected at all. And that was one of the biggest features last year. I did some incredible catches on the sideline last year that I don't know why that can't be fixed right now, but I mean, in time it will. But you're absolutely right, Sim. This is the second year where the launch title, when it was launched, it has some of the biggest bugs I've seen in years. And, I know, they have deadlines they have to meet, and I understand that, they have to get the game out there. But, hopefully they can start working on next year's version a little bit sooner, so they can avoid a lot of this, because it's just, thank God we have the internet to download patches. Because can you imagine if this was the final product, man, they'll get trashed. But we know that they're gonna fix it. Certain instances they're gonna fix it. We just wish that it would come right out the gate with that.
You know what's crazy, and then I'm gonna throw it to Smitty. It seems like, and I don't know how to explain bugs, because you would think most people will experience some of the same, but there's some that I see that this guy didn't see, and some that guy see that I haven't seen. But the thing with the color, I haven't noticed a problem with the color in my games. But I am hearing some people saying it looks too dark at this, and looks, it's a black spot. And I will say this, most of the footage that I put out before the game, I noticed that it defaulted to 4:15 with an overcast. So I had to actually put it on 1 o'clock clear in order to get it to look bright. So I don't know if that's a thing. And then two more things I want to comment on. It just goes to show you guys how everybody's perception is different. The one guy in here says, Wayne Wallace. Shout outs to Wayne Wallace. And again, I'm not picking on you or anything. I'm just pulling out your comment. He says Madden 18 is better. Madden 19 needs a lot of work. EA make the players like Madden 18. Graphics are good, but the players need upgraded. I wouldn't say that personally. I think 19 is a better playing game than 18. Has bugs. But see, and this just goes to show, guys, it's everybody's perception. And here's another comment I wanted to say. Shout outs to Corey Andy 5. He says the Madden under Rex has no passion. It hasn't had the passion since Ian Cummins left.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
Listen, I can't say you're wrong, my man, or anything like that. It's your opinion.
Strong right there, boy.
Yeah.
But most people would say that Ian Cummins lacked passion, and he also lacked the camaraderie amongst the community. Rex was all passion. Sometimes over passionate.
Yes.
So it's just everybody's different. This is my exact point when I talk about these video games, man. Everybody has a different perception.
He blamed us.
Sure did.
He said it wasn't the game, it was us. I
Yeah.
don't know about that. I'm sorry.
Oh, shout outs to Antoine, man. My man Antoine
Shoot.
in here with the
Yo, what up, man?
donate.
Antoine, man.
Came through and donated on the Steeler podcast. And he's a Dallas fan, so I know it was just support.
Appreciate that,
My man Antoine, man. But Smitty, what you got on it, man? We're gonna circle back around. I wanna get all of our opinions on the reaction to bugs. But what you got on the bugs, Smitty, man? What are some of the things that you're seeing the most, or do you not agree that Madden 18 and 19 seem to be very, very bug ridden, if you will, infested?
Yeah, I mean they're both like that because you have 2 consecutive years of implementing a brand new core technology into the game.
True.
So that's going to be critical. Last year was the first year of it being on Frostbite. Yeah. This year is the first year of RPM tech being implemented into the game. So to see the rough spots with it, that doesn't surprise me like that. If you look at NBA 2K18, one of the big things that they complained about was that. Look at all the blow-bys that were happening and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Mike Wang said recently it was a bug that they weren't able to get fixed in time for the game to launch, and it wasn't something that they could fix, remedy through patch. So, and once again, they did something to change up one of the core systems in their game as far as 2-man animations and all that stuff. They're trying to make that game more of a free-flowing game altogether. Well, when you do those big kind of changes, that it increases that potential for things to go awry. Remember when the Infinity Engine was added in to Madden? Yeah, the physics. Oh yeah,
13
good stuff. Yeah, 13.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
it brought some good stuff to the game, but at the same time, it was a lot of messy things that were going on with the game too. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's like when you implement these technologies, especially when it's a year 1 thing, and EA, ever since they added in the real-time physics dynamic, they've been working on it ever since 2013. It still isn't perfected. So it's like that just lets you know how much progression and how much work has went into that. So when you talk about from a year 1 standpoint of something, it doesn't surprise me to see all this. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but at the same time, it's like it's going to come with the territory. And, look, this is not gaming back on PS2. The games are a lot more sophisticated at this point. You know what I'm saying? Some of these games, like, I know people, look, when Red Dead Redemption comes out, people are going to compare Madden to it.
Oh, of course.
And if we were to take that Red Dead Redemption 2 and all of its graphical fidelity, open world stuff and everything else, and you put that on a PS2 package, because that's what people love to do. We like to go back to the old days of it, how everything was all in that package. That would be like a 6-7 disc game, and it still won't match up to this generation. You see what I'm saying? Like, because it's too much stuff. You're like, there's no way you'll be able to get that all on 1 or 2 discs and be like, aha, we figured it all out. No, it's not like that. So that's why I'm saying, even, these games that are made right now, like, it's, it sucks to see these bad bugs. Like, Sim ran into that week 1 of preseason, right? And in CFM. I've restarted my CFM 2-3 times over already. I haven't had that happen yet. See what I'm saying? So it's like, it happens to him, but it doesn't necessarily happen to me. Now, I have some stuff happen. I've had some jacked up stuff happen in the game that I question, and I mean, people seen it, when I stream and stuff like that, but I haven't had one of those bugs where it's like blatant OMG, what the heck is going on, EA kind of moments yet. So I'm just saying that, we see the game overall for what it is. Yep, it's stepped up big time. And this is kudos to Rex. Rex put it out there and shown y'all. Well, I think he did in a video or something like that. He's shown you the meeting room with the big board that they pull up. It's like a big old Excel spreadsheet that's got nothing but all kind of bugs and everything in there. And it's like, yeah, we got this long list. there's stuff that they're not going to be able to get to and say, you know what, we're going to have to do this in the patch.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to have to come in the first title update. We're going to have to fix this, that, and the third. So it wouldn't alarm me if a fair number of things that people are tweeting out, and even that me, Sim, others talk about, they may already know of.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, we got to wait for the update. But it's always good to tell them. Let them know, hey, I'm having this happen. This is going on, blah, blah, blah. Because there could be something that they don't know of. Or there also can be stuff that could be happening in a mass amount. And then, that's when you talk about priority and everything, saying, oh, snap, well, since this is happening more than this issue, well, we need to prioritize that and get that done immediately. If we can get all of this done in one update, awesome. If not, then we're going to have to wait till the next one and address more. You know what I'm saying? So we know that there's going to be patches and tunings and updates. Listen, Madden is made every 6 to 8 months. 6, 8, 9 months, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Game like Red Dead Redemption, the last one that came out was, 2009? Mm-hmm. That was Red Dead Redemption. You got 2 that's about to drop 9 dang on years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you think that game ain't gonna have a title update? It's gonna have a title update to fix stuff just like Madden.
Especially a game like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's gonna be bugs. There's gonna be stuff they're gonna have to address.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto had it. Their online was jacked up at first.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And they had to fix that. And that game is still getting updates for it right now in terms of new content. So it's going to happen. And this is not giving passes and excuses. This is reality of the development. Like, this is what people need to understand with this stuff. So it's like, yo, if you feel that, hey, this game, you know what, I'm going to wait till that first title update. Then I'll go ahead and get it. Then I'll see if it's for me. If that's what you got to do it. But if you like what's going on, and I mean, me, Sim, Brett, I'm pretty sure seen it. Many other people, I've seen a fair number of people, a good number of people that usually will be detracting and really not give two flying farts about Madden, and they up here tweeting clips of, hey man, I love what y'all did with Madden 19 and all that stuff. It's like, hey, that they did that, and the thing is, people saying the game is better, that, guys that played in the beta, the game feels and plays better, much better than what they were expecting.
Oh, yeah.
That says a lot. So there's a lot of good in the game. It's just there's some stuff that needs to be refined in terms of getting the game right. So, but that's where I'm at with the bug stuff. Like, just keep giving the feedback. I see the same message from a decent number of guys. Yo, leave the football alone. Fix the bugs,
right?
Address those issues, and then keep it trucking. Because like Sim, and I'll throw it back to you, Sim. Sim tweeted something out a little bit earlier, where it's shown a clip of the NFL. It was an NFL Game Pass little segment. Defender picking up the receiving route. It was cover 2 zone defense, I think it was. Yeah, it was zone defense.
It was cover 2, and one of them was match.
Yeah. And the one of the defenders didn't pick up the third route. No, he picked up the 3. He picked up the third route, the third receiver, but he was supposed to turn to the second route. The second was supposed to be his new third, and he didn't pick it up. And Sim's saying, well, what if you have that kind of mistake happen in the game? How would you feel about that? Or would you want something like that happening in the game? And see, that's the stuff that Madden has to get to that point where you're seeing it happen in the game. I mean, I see it happen to me. I see receivers catch passes. Well, what the heck was my defender doing? Oh, their back is completely to the ball. They're not going to see it. They shouldn't know to turn around all of a sudden and try and make a play because they never saw it. So it's like those mistakes and miscues are going to happen. And I'm perfectly okay with that. But see, it's other people that are, that feel, there's some people out here that want it to be so mechanically sound, they can't fathom the facet of a player making a miscue, players making mistakes. When it happens in the NFL, like the NFL, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This ain't in the backyard with your friends and all that. This is in the NFL. Dudes are going to make the best receivers are going to drop passes. The best DBs are going to get toasted. Sometimes they'll get toasted by guys that aren't rated that high. They're NFL players for a reason. Like my man Zan had said in one of the preseason games, it was a cornerback or a safety, I think, from the Vikings. My man made the standard read in principle, saw the QB's eyes, saw the ball, made the read, got the beat on it, picked it off. That's, you know what I mean? In Madden, and this is a tourney guy. Even though we know Zan, and shout out to him, we know he's you know, big football guy, but he's saying, like, in principle, regardless of dude's skill rating, they should still be capable to make fundamentally sound plays. They should have that logic in place regardless of what skill ratings are. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. We need to have that across the board. Because you should be able to draft a guy that's a 7th round pick overall or whatever, or an undrafted player that can potentially make some plays for you. You see what I'm saying? So, just saying. I'll throw it back to you, Sim. So I'm being something.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's the thing is, man, I know there's a level of what's a bug, what's the video game, what could really happen, how can you make it believable? That's always my question. How can we make it to where gamers accept things like that? Because the clip that I showed, it was what's my man's name? It was Baldy and Ron Jawowski, and what's the dude, man? I can't remember. He's a defensive guy. I cannot remember his name, but it was basically going over match concept, and they also showed cover 2, and the defensive guy, Sperano, I think. No, not Sperano. God bless. I think that died. That guy passed away a little while ago. Oh, what's my man's name? I can see him, but I can't think of his name. But anyway, they were talking about how in the cover 2, the corner should have got a little more depth, but he too busy looking at the quarterback. He got sucked in. The first play they showed, it was a match concept, and they showed, I think it was Miles Jack, and it was like, watch him, watch what he's gonna do. He's like, this is a mistake most players make, young guys, watching the quarterback. He doesn't realize that the number 3 receiver now became the number 2, so now number 3 is behind him, not paying attention. So my question has always been to people, you know, in Madden, how do we get that to be acceptable by somebody playing the game? And it's hard because most people have a video game mentality, and they're like, oh, he's supposed to make that play. And I'm not giving Madden an excuse because I put it out there. I always make sure on Twitter I say any game, Madden or any past, present, or future football game. How do you do that when people will not accept it? How do you do it and we will believe it? Is it just going to be ratings, or is it going to be things like, oh, his head wasn't turned, or so? It's a thin line. Even though I'm not going to sit here and act like Madden has it right. NY Kia has put out videos showing you that the concepts are in fact right. Hey, if you don't want to listen to Kia, how about Anthony White, A-Dub, a developer at EA, the football savant? He's putting out videos explaining exactly how cover 2 is working. I mean, cover 4, I've seen he's done cover 4 palms, quarters, all of that. The concepts are right. It's just, how do they get it to replicate correctly? And we understand there's bugs in the game as well. Here's the thing, guys, and I'll throw it to Brett and answer this question. How do you feel about the response to bugs? Because I put a tweet out earlier in the week, and I wanted to categorize not just Madden, but every single video game. It seems like sports gamers have come to a point where we expect the game to not have any bugs. Any bug that you see, people are saying, oh, they're blasting the company. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. Every game I've seen. Last year I saw this happen with Madden, NBA 2K, NBA Live, FIFA. Every game. MLB The Show got killed this year for bugs. And I'm like, have we gotten to the point where we're thinking that there shouldn't be any bugs in any game? Now, I'm not saying that we should accept it because, again, I reported a bug today that has to be a clear bug. It needs to be fixed. But have we gone away from taking what's positive in the game and giving feedback on the negative and what's missing? Are we expecting perfect games now?
I think partially is because I think the consumer is still frustrated to shell out $65+ or if you get the other whatever edition, the $80 one version, they feel if I'm shelling out this type of money, you guys need to be shelling out a better product. And I understand that to a certain extent, but you got to understand too, this is just the nature of the beast of dealing with video games. Whether it's Madden, whether it's God of War, whether it's Spider-Man, whatever it is, that's just what you're not going to get that perfect game. And I like the enthusiasm of everybody striving to have a perfect game, especially when it comes to Madden. But I'd also say this too. I think we're tired of every year we're being shipped a game that's not fully developed the way we want it to be, and we have to wait for another patch. Usually we have to wait for 2 patches before we really can say the game is playing the way I like to play. So I understand that type of frustration, but I don't know. It's just kind of hard to just say, hey, you guys, there's no excuses. You guys need to come out with a better game, and we don't. You've said it before. You don't know what they go through each and every year, especially this particular year, where we're down to what, our 3rd lead producer on this game, right, on this particular year, and it's a lot of stuff. And you said it before, Sim. It's a lot of stuff going on that a lot of people don't know what is really going on over there, and it might be showing its ugly head by the way that the game is being developed. I talked to a couple of my old coworkers that work there. I talk to them like every day, and he was saying that he was fearful for this year that we might have some problems with the game because of these changes up at top. And look what's happening. In fact, he saw a tweet from Rex. I'm not gonna go into details what the tweet said, what was going on, what Rex was saying, but it has something to deal with the fact that it could be a possible rough year. And and again, like I said a couple of weeks ago, this is the 30th. Just think about this, you guys. This is the 30th year that this game came out. Name me any other game that comes out every year for 30 years straight. Name me one. I can't name one.
Yeah, I can't even name one.
I can't name not one game that has came out every single year for 30 straight years. And I've been playing it every single year for 30 straight years. So, they kind of owe us with, hey, by now, you guys need to come out with just a solid product, where we don't have to worry about no bugs. Or, the bugs that we got to worry about shouldn't be this major. It shouldn't be major. Yeah. It shouldn't be major. It should be where we'll fix that down the line. But for right now, we can come around the gates and we're ready to play. I've only played about 4 games, y'all, because of the fact that I'm dissecting it so much. I don't want to get emotionally taxed playing a franchise mode, and it's a critical game, and something so crazy happens because of the bug, and it just ruins the rest of my season and whatnot. I don't want to take that chance. I have to be patient and wait for it. But we should, it's just, I don't know. Maybe hopefully they can start the testing cycle earlier or something. I don't know. Something should hopefully in the future to get better. But I have a question for both of you guys. I wanted to ask you guys this the last time. Mm-hmm. What do you think about 2 versions of the game?
Oh.
Okay. Because I've been thinking about this a lot. Mm-hmm. Where we have a MUT version and we have our Sim version. And the reason why, for me, I've been thinking about it a lot, especially now seeing these sales. And I found the link, by the way. I'm going to send it to you later, Sim. I found the link about the sales, what they're talking about. It's on GameSpot. If you just type in Madden 19 sales, it will take you straight to it. But I've been thinking about this a lot now. If this is true about selling 130 million copies, this is the only football game that's out there. In the past, when they used to have college, they had NFL Street and Madden, and they still got the sales that they want. I don't see why not having a sim version and a mud version, because it's still your money. It's not you beating your. It's not like you're fighting against yourself. You're still getting. You're satisfying both parties to me, and to me, it seems like if you had just a sim version, you can give what we. I mean, to me, all they need to do is do a head coach, add head coach to it, and have the dynamics of head coach in there, and we'll be set.
That's
And,
it.
and that's it. That's all you would need to do. You wouldn't. I mean, that's all you need to do. You wouldn't need to develop anything new. Just do that. And because I just I don't know. I just think that it would really satisfy so many people, and then we can finally see, okay, who's the leader? Is it Matt? Is it the Sim, or is it the Mutt? Does the Mutt really hold away from the Sim, or does the Sim really holds away from Mutt? We can finally see uh, who's the most dominant. Not so much for the battle itself, but hey, it can satisfy the masses with it.
Smitty, go ahead and take that one. I already know where you're going. And by the way, we got Silent Gamer, aka Virtual Footballer, on as well, man. If you want to answer that question right after Smitty, please feel free.
No, what's the question again?
How would you feel about it being two games? And I'll say it from this perspective because me and Smitty has actually pitched this before.
Okay.
You have
No, Smitty could go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Smitty. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it would be cool. I wouldn't mind it. Like I see, my thing is this: why does it have to be done with Madden? Why is it that when it comes to Madden, we got to get touchy? We got to do all this extra stuff where other games and other genres they have it all in one package. There's you wouldn't think it would be asinine for 2K to separate NBA 2K.
Right.
It would be asinine to see MLB The Show segment their game like that. Say, oh, well, we're going to make two games for you guys. Because why is it that when it comes to Madden, though, it always has to be that? You know what I'm saying?
I can kind of answer. I can kind of get an answer to that, but I'm gonna let the other guy speak.
Yeah. All right. Because I'm just saying. I mean, I'm putting that out. I'm not this is where my thought is at. Like, see, when we first brought it up, yeah, it made more sense because of where the game was at, and it was basically, like I said, Ian Cummings' vision was more of an arcadey experience, and everybody can do everything to everybody, and I want to be able to take a team that full dang on well ain't got no business making the playoffs, and they can make the Super Bowl year in year out. That was the kind of vision that he had, and I mean he basically said that on Press Row Podcast in terms of how he felt Madden should be playing.
That was passion.
So yeah, that's where his mind was at. But then you saw him go on screen and portray how authentic the game was in his eyes. So
shenanigans. You remember that?
Yeah. Surprise.
That's a Madden quiz for some of you guys. See how many of y'all remember that one. Shenanigans.
Surprise onside kick. Shenanigans. Like,
I remember that.
Boy. But no, it's like, with Madden, like why do this extra segmentation? It's like the game was made the wrong way. It was took in a direction it never should have went. And it's like ever since it went away from what David Ortiz was doing, if they kept it on that track, they would have been tight. But it fell all the way to the wayside, and it became a very, very, very casual game.
Yeah.
So the problem now is that now you got Mutt in here, and that's blew up. And you also have, a community that wants the simulation side of the game to be catered to, and we want to see authentic football. Then there's also what the NFL will allow and not allow. Because, yeah, there's things on the surface that we know they said no to. But what else? Who knows what else? There may be a bunch of other things that they may be saying no to. They're not like the NBA. The NBA allows, hey, oh, they got a new tattoo? Go ahead and scan that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't care. Go and put all that in. EA, oh, we got to go to every artist, every this, every that. We got to get all this consent just to put tattoo on one guy. Like, no, it's like it's so much red tape to just get something done. So, and NFL plays a role in that. But when we're talking about just authentic football happening, players get concussed. It was in the game one point, and NFL said, "Don't take that out."
Yep.
Remember how players were trucking in NFL 25? They looked like they were running basically upright, trucking people, and that looks silly, right? Mm-hmm. And then we clown them for the gameplay quality when you see that stuff happen. See, that kind of stuff. And then when they finally do things authentic, or they try to make the gameplay somewhat authentic, you got people that complain about it, mainly along the line of the casual crowd. And when that happens, guess what? Our game gets watered down. You know what I'm saying? And when the game gets watered down, now we're basically back to square one again when it comes to the game overall. And now we don't have that same experience. And then here we are playing the same game again, and we're dubbing it as the same game again, because that's all we got, and we all have to share that exact same experience. So it's like, it's crazy that calendar year 2017, we're just now getting it to a point where we got mode segmentation in the game, and now we're starting to have some kind of leveling in there in terms of getting the game that we want, trying to create the game within the game. Whereas you have other games that already were doing this long before. See, that's what I'm saying. Madden being behind the curve is a big problem, where it's like, man, because Madden's behind all these other games, you know what? Why don't we separate this game and let these guys have the game they want over here, and let's have this simulation game, and then just let's have at it that way. That's why I'm always in that middle of the road. Like, why do we have to tear Madden in half while you have all these other games that all they do is adjust difficulty levels and put settings in the game, and people just go ahead and play the way they prefer to play and just keep it trucking and just add the modes, add the gameplay legitimacy, simulation, whatever, the legitimacy to the sport, and just have fun with it. I just don't understand that. So, that's where I sit at. I really don't have a straight answer, but that's where I sit.
And I agree with you too, Smitty, because that was I was just getting too excited about talking about it, but I wanted to get to that aspect too. Was, when you look at MLB The Show and you look at NBA 2K, they have those options, but their core part of their game is franchise, and they don't go away from that. They stay with that. It's like, why can't Madden do the same thing? You can still have those things, but let's not forget the core. It's like it's like we're playing a shell of a game, the possibility of how a game could really be dynamic if they would stay with that core. And that's why you're right. You shouldn't have to separate it. You should still have the best of both worlds, but let's not just take away from what got them to this point. And that is, from 99 until now, it's been a franchise mode, and it's been growing ever since. And it still feels like, at least for the last 7 years, it's been stagnant.
No, I mean, your main problem is the reason why I don't have a problem with it being a separate game. I mean, but if it can't, I mean, it's cool either way. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like we was talking about, the other companies, they hinge on franchise mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what the core of their game is based on that. Everything else around it is otherwise. EA, what happened, I think it was Madden 12, where they started with the MUT thing and it just took off. I don't blame a company for making money or getting money. That's what businesses are in. That's what they're in business for, to make money. But the flip side to that I mean, you're still dealing with a situation where the compromise of football is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's there. There's nothing we could do about that. But you look at Madden 19. I mean, y'all talked about this before I came on. A lot of people could say what they want, but one thing they can't say that fundamentals are in the game. I've been saying this on my podcast.
They in there.
Player movement, real player movement is one of the best things that have happened to the game, to where it's there to the point where you cannot dispute what's going on. You can easily go back to Madden as early as Madden 16 and look at how crazy players move when they're trying to defend a receiver. You can see how crazy players move when they're trying to strafe across the field to actually tackle somebody. The running back, I don't even need to go into the running back. I don't even have to go into how players move when they're running the ball. Mm-hmm. It's all there. So I mean, if there's another game to be made, if they want to split the game up, I'm never going to say no to more games, because if you can please the more people, the better. But let's not sit here and say that it's not there already. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but Madden 19 is way more advanced than a lot of people say it is. Mm-hmm. I gave the game very high praise, and the only response people have is, well, why these players are doing that? Why is this bug in the game? But you can't talk bad about the backpedaling. You can't talk bad about the tackling. You can't talk bad about the catching. You can't talk bad about, the throwing motions, the actual players using their hands and arms to play defense as a defensive back. You can't talk about wrap up tackling. You can't talk about not necessarily blocking logic, but you can't talk about how the blocking is, where they actually look like they're blocking. The animations are there. So when a lot of people say that it should be a different game, I mean, look, the more the better. I don't have a problem with it. But the flip side to it, we're making it seem like people are saying that this game is so far off that it needs to be separate so they can make that game. Honestly, the game is there. It's just, I mean, me and NYKia, the guys on my podcast, we already said, like, the main thing is just fix these bugs that are rearing their head in the game. Yes. It's like the flip side. It's like the fundamentals wasn't there in 16, but the bugs wasn't there. Mm-hmm. The bugs was not in 17, but the fundamentals are starting to come in. Now you have the bugs. So It's like, it's tough for people like us who honestly just want to really talk about the game in a positive light, because I don't really, it don't really bother me, but the naysayers have something to hang on, which is, oh, well, this is in the game, but I'm like, well, you want an authentic experience, and for all intents and purposes, it's there. We just need to get those bugs fixed.
Yeah.
Once the bugs are fixed, I don't think too many people could really say much about the game.
No.
You look at Sim put this video out about the bugs with the free agency. Look at that. I mean, people can rash that all they want, but that has nothing to do with what happens on the field. And the right. That's the core thing everybody wanted, right? Everybody wants the core to be about football. What happens on free agency or that's not happening in the game, yes, is a relevant issue, because if you play franchise mode, but we're not going to sit here and just say, oh, that's a continuous part of the legacy issue of fundamental football. I mean,
it's trash, man. It's trash. See, that's what they're always saying.
But on the flip side of that, I mean, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that as well. Madden is trash because some people, I mean, I put this out on Twitter plenty of times. People just can't adapt to what real football is. Yeah. I'm not saying that Madden 19 is perfect. I'm not saying that Madden 19 beats other games in the past. But we gotta be real honest with ourselves. If you only got 3 seconds to throw that ball in the pocket and you're mad at the game because of that, well, I mean, last year you just said that you don't like people being in the pocket too long, throwing bombs all over the place. Well, you look at the NFL now. How long do you think your favorite team quarterback has time to throw in the pocket? Mm-hmm. Now you have to do that. Now you have to do that in Madden, and it's a problem. I mean, I don't know the other guy y'all have on there. I don't know. I've probably talked to him before. I don't know, but us three, Sim and Smitty, we play backbreaker. How long do you think you had in the pocket in backbreaker?
Oh man, before they patched it. You better get rid of that ball.
Like 2 seconds.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so we're used to stuff like that. I mean, as much as I love I'm a big fan of the PS2 Maddens, but you had on average almost 7 seconds almost every time. You literally
I
had,
mean, you can have even more depending on what quarterback you have too, because the way you scrambled, it's just you can go
right.
back 20 yards and still complete a pass.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like when you have that situation going on, and then you have the flip side that, oh, I can't run the ball because of this, or the DB's playing like that, and then you turn around and you see like the windows that are quote unquote open are not really open when you try to play Madden ball. But when you play football, you need to read that defense, and yes, you can complete a pass, but you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's why I said, as soon as I played the game, I noticed it. I was like, yo, a lot of people are gonna be getting exposed.
Exactly. Oh, I'm hearing that big time. Like some of the guys that were good in my franchise last year. Oh, they're struggling because now, like you said, now you're going to see who really knows what football is all about.
Exactly. And I have not, even with the bugs in the game, I have no problem playing Madden 19 right now. Do things need to get fixed? Yes, but I'm having a blast playing the game as is. I mean, I'm playing on all pro stock. I know it's hard to believe I am. And I have no problem with the game. Now, I don't mind trying other people's sliders to enhance the game or whatever the case may be. But to be honest with you, I'm all for the patches to get the bugs right. I can play this game pretty much year round. I played Madden 18. I played 7 games. That just goes to show you. You got people that were Save 65 guys. I mean, y'all probably done blocked them because they probably harassed y'all so much.
Oh my goodness.
But I know Save 65 guys, and I sent the screenshot to Smitty. Am I lying? That particular Save 65 guy loves Madden 19.
Yeah,
shout out. Hey, I got shout out to Keith Turner.
Exactly.
Keith Turner.
Who that is. Yeah.
No.
That shit bought the $79.99 version of the game.
No way.
Physical copy.
Y'all, no, I don't believe. Y'all gotta send me the screenshot.
Go ahead and y'all.
Yo.
Go ahead and talk about live in 2K right now.
All right.
Do y'all know how much that guy has? Oh my goodness. I mean, it's almost like he knew me personally. He talked about me so bad.
I'll send it to you right now.
Wow.
Hey, I was blown away when he told me that too.
See?
That's all I was saying. Like,
and
but I want to make this point.
Yeah, go ahead, Smith.
Make this point. Like this is a key point I want to make, especially off of what VF is saying. I came across a video. Somebody else had tweeted it out. Someone had said that it was a mom and pop shop.
Hold on one second. Go ahead. Go check your phone, Sim.
Oh, okay.
Check your phone.
All right.
All right, go ahead, Smitty.
He said that he pulled the game off the shelf because he's about having games, quality games in his store, and Madden isn't it. But then he said his favorite Maddens are Madden 03 and Madden 04. Let me make this point to you real quick. Hold up. Let me make this point real quick. I participated in a Madden national tournament, Madden 05 or whatever. They had it at the mall. I just walked up and tried, played a few games, whatever. But they had on the big screen TV out there, at the mall, whatever. They were playing Madden 03. People were dropping back 20, 30, 40 yards, throwing it upfield 50. Yep. People were taking that fast halfback or quarterback or whatever, but mainly halfback, and they would run all back to their own end zone, do that come back around and run it all the way up for 6. They was doing all that kind of cheesy stuff in that game. All kinds. But remember, this is calendar year 05. Just think about that, 2002, 2003 calendar years. Mm-hmm. The most you had as far as exposing anything was an online forum on IGN. That's it. Or GameFAQs maybe.
Right.
You didn't have a YouTube. You weren't able. Cell phone video cam quality, please. You can only capture 15 seconds, and it's grainy at best. You weren't capping that stuff. So when you say that now, these games would get murdered if they were being played right now. Like, they would be so exposed. It's not even funny. And I know that some people want to cape and throw on their cape and cowl with the 2K badge on their chest for APF and all that. But as I've demonstrated in the past, you see the stuff happening in Madden. We gripe about dropping back 25, 30 yards and throwing perfect strikes across the body and all that. You can do the same thing in APF.
Yeah.
I hope you know that. If you actually play the game, you know that you could do that. And also, you could take a Joe Generic quarterback and evade sacks. I know people call BS when, oh my gosh, I can't believe Baker Mayfield can shed that sack in that trailer, even though it was more of a CG trailer still. You could do the same thing. You know that if you play 2K football, like how we all have, if you played it, you know that they made the quarterback evade mechanic extremely overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
You can always, it doesn't matter. I was playing it the other day. I took the Joe Generic quarterback and I was evading Reggie White every time, slipping off me like butter. So I'm telling you, at least the first sack you could always evade. And that's the way the game is built. And this is what I'm saying. There are things in these games that people have a particular freeze frame in time of how great it is, and because of that, there's nothing wrong with it, or there's very little wrong with it. When it's like, if you actually put that game on display, there's a ton that can be exposed in regards of our favorite games back on those generations. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I was just thinking about that from what VF was saying. So
you see that Smitty?
Yeah.
Looking at the picture he sent me, that's funny. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Already. That's why I was bugging.
Wow, that's hilarious. Well, guys, being mindful of the time, man. Let's give the last 30 minutes here to the NBA Live and NBA 2K, and we'll always circle back to Madden, man. But I didn't want to get off track with that because I don't want it to just be that all we talk about is Madden, because I'm getting a little excited, man, by seeing what's going on with Live and NBA 2K, and I'll keep mine short. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Right now, I'm just waiting to see these games in action. I could probably say in advance if 2K delivers what's being said in the big thread, in the big article. Man, if they have actually solved the problem of body detection and no body clipping, I've been waiting for a company to do that. Then I'm fully on board. They are going to be my franchise, full-blown franchise experience. My league has been my favorite since it has been introduced. I love it. And Madden could really take from that model. As far as NBA Live,
I got a bone to pick with that game. I'm really I'm serious. I'm serious. No, I'm gonna let you go, but I got a problem with that game, and I'm really getting worried about that game. Seriously.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear it, man.
I think hear that. Right.
I think he might say what I'm about to say here. I didn't play the game. Didn't go to EA Play this year. You guys know that. I was on vacation. Blah blah blah. Smitty did, and I heard good things about it. Right. So fast forward to this little clip that I saw circulating on Twitter. Shout outs to Donnie, and I was like, that's just a little CG. Come to find out, they're saying that wasn't CG. Now, what they're saying is the start menu. Now, if you take a look at Madden and you see Antonio Brown, or just say it in the past years, and when you see those intros, does it always translate to what the game really looks like? Not necessarily. Sometimes, but not necessarily. So I'm not going to get geeked on that. But Live is portraying it as if, to come out and say, nah, that ain't CG. Then you sticking your neck out and saying, this what the game look like. Now, the second thing I got a problem with is, and I'm going to read the comments. There must be something funny in the comments. I'm going to check it here in a minute. The second thing I got a problem with is, here's a big issue with them. Y'all remember last year when, and I was one of the culprits, I knew what was going on with franchise for Madden. I just couldn't say anything. And we didn't hear any news till later, right? And we found out there wasn't a whole lot going on. I'm getting concerned with NBA Live.
Very.
Because...
it's not, go ahead.
No,
I really want to say something, man, but I'm very concerned about that game. Very.
Yeah, I got you. I'm about to wrap it up right now. I was just going to say, with this year with Madden, y'all notice how they told us about it real early. Madden got some improvements in that area. A lot of that stuff that Madden got kind of came, in my opinion, you could kind of see was a little mud-ish and a little the one-ish. So what is Live going to do that's going to be like this splash? We ain't heard nothing. You let 2K drop the big giant My League blog and stomp you in the ground. Okay, that's my concern. I think the game on the court is going to be nice. Outside of that, Live, you better start playing, man. That's all I know. Yeah, let's throw it to VF and then Brett, you come in after him. Yeah, go ahead, VF.
I personally think that this game is about to lose its identity. I don't think that Live as we know it may not be around anymore. I don't care if the game is called Live. Live as we know it. Even when Live came back with Live 14, we knew what Live was. Live, even with the problems with Live 14, we still knew it was a shell of Live 10. We knew it was a shell of NBA Elite 11. And it kept building to what, at least up until Live 16, we still felt that this game was still that shell that we knew of Live, even way back in the PS2 days. We knew Live was going to be a game that gives you an NBA experience. Live 18 I don't see nothing that says NBA, like NBA season or just the NBA brand experience in this game. All I see is a more, I'm not going to say simulation, but a more realistic version of NBA Street. And I think that's the route they're going, because you're going across the world playing basketball, you're creating your courts, you're doing all this other stuff that you're customizing your player. You got people dunking on people, on the outside venue. I don't know what the regular season games are going to feel like. We all know that NBA Live was huge on exhibition, regular season crowds, playoff crowds, NBA final crowds. You don't hear nothing about that no more. You don't hear about what type of mechanics they have for you to play 5-on-5 basketball with the Rockets versus the Timberwolves. You're just hearing about make your player to play with other people online. I'm starting to feel like that this is about to be, or they're trying to go into a direction where it's just going to be one big my player game. And with that being said, I can't call the game a simulation game anymore. I just think to me it's just going to be a more it's just going to be a sophisticated NBA playgrounds. That's the way I look at it. And with that being said, we're just going to there won't be no competition for NBA 2K. And it's not because it's bad basketball. I don't think NBA. I think with the exception of 16, I could not stand 16. I'm sorry. With 15, 18, I feel like you played a great game of basketball, and I feel like 19 is still going to be a great game of basketball. But I don't think you're going to get an NBA experience. Like, you look at NBA 2K, you play those games, and it feels like you're at the arena. It feels like you're playing. I mean, Sim tell you, he plays franchise mode in NBA 2K.
Yeah.
It feels like you're playing a franchise. It feels like you're running a franchise. NBA Live 10, a lot of people may not know this, but NBA Live 10 done a fantastic job with their franchise mode. I mean, in the middle of the season, you had mandatory practices where it wasn't like, okay, we're just going to go practice. No, you actually are in the gym, and you had to go to separate coaches to where you learn how to dribble, you learn how to offensive rebound, you ran fast breaks, you did 5-on-5 drills, you learned how to pick and roll. I mean, this was stuff that was in the game that just is not, I mean, NBA, we could talk about NBA 2K My League, and it's great, but they don't even have that, where you can go to separate coaches and learn fundamental basketball. And it just seemed like Live is totally getting away with all of that. And to me, I'm very concerned about the game, because now it's like, if you want an authentic basketball experience, you're just going to have to go to NBA 2K. And with that being said, I don't think NBA 2K20 is looking bright because of no competition. They can just copy and paste. I mean, y'all have to.
I know.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, like that's yeah.
wasn't
That's
that a one?
basically what they've been doing that for the last pretty much 2-3 years.
I mean,
If
wasn't
you
that
think about it.
wasn't that a one that said that Madden 17 was going to be the game that was going to be the big leap?
Yeah.
And I don't think I was wrong, because we saw what 25, 15, and 16 did, but 17 was that leap where I was like, okay, I can really get into this game. You know, you have to think down the road like that, because yeah, these games are right now. We're going to play these games, but all of us, we're critics of these games. I always think ahead.
Mm-hmm.
When I knew OG left after Live 15, I told everybody, you know, don't worry about NBA 2K15. Wait till 2K16.
Right.
Nobody talked. I mean, everybody talked about how 15 was, but you didn't see that leap until 2K16. You didn't see that leap until 17 and 18, where you actually saw his fingerprints on it. Now, if EA is going to have their fingerprints on what they're doing with this route, I mean, if you see Live have their fingerprints, what they're doing on this route, Live 19 may be what it is, and Live 20 may be all out street ball. And I would hate for that to happen. I mean, that's all I got, man. I mean, I hate for it to be that way, but that's what it looks like it's going to happen.
You know what's crazy, real quick, Smitty, before you go?
Yeah.
In terms of Madden, it's even crazier when you already know where the road ends.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave that on y'all. It's really crazy when you know what's down the road. Like when I can look at 19 and already know what's coming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. Mm-hmm. When I already know what it is. Like, for the good, I'll just say that. For the good. I already know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's even worse. It really sucks.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Smitty. What you got, man?
All right, man. What I basically will say is that, you know, like, I mean, VF hit the nail on the head. That's why I dropped the video that I dropped. Like, look, you know, talk with people at EA Play about this kind of stuff and everything. Yeah, the gameplay is sound, but we need to know what they're going to be doing as far as franchise mode on Live. I mean, look, I felt that they should have dropped that franchise news first. They should have put out that trailer back in June and put out whatever they had for franchise in June. That should have been the first bit outside of gameplay. That should have been the first bit of information they put out. Then talk about the streak. You know what I'm saying? And do their whole leak out plan as they've done. They've done a great job with marketing the game, but they should have talked about that first. Because to wait this long, and I mean, the demo's about to come out. I know the game don't come out for a few more weeks, but still, you're not in position like 2K to wait and wait and wait. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You need people playing this game outside of the street. It's like you're trying to force people to play the street. Right. The way that it seems right now. Like you're trying to force people to play.
And that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah. Because you ain't even promoting LUT. And that's the mode where you would get your money at. You know what I'm saying?
You already know that conversation. And go ahead and rehash it real quick for those who missed it. The conversation you had about the females being able to dunk on you. With live devs in the public eye. It wasn't behind closed doors. That's very telling.
Closed door.
That was very telling.
This was online. Like, this was on Twitter. It was out there. And I basically was saying that female ballers, you know, I'm showcasing clips. I'm like, where's the clips of female ballers doing this? And what I was basically told was, well, if people actually created their avatars based off of what they can actually do personally, they wouldn't be able to do exactly what's happening in the game. So it's like, but to say that, and I mean to say that as a person who watches basketball, you have the best female athletes out here, the Candace Parkers, the Brittany Grinders, all these whether they're high school, college, or pro, and they're all rim graze level female dunkers. They're not tomahawking and they're not doing Zion Williamson dunks out here. They're not doing that out here. But when you're saying, well, you know, and this was once again, EA employee says this, well, what are you expecting on the street? You expecting it to be sim, or you expecting it, you know, like, no, he asked me, what am I expecting? I said, I'm expecting it to be sim. He's like, well, if you want to play sim, go play the league. It's going to be arcade on the street. So you're justifying and saying because it's not my actual real life replicated avatar that I'm not supposed to be able to do these certain things in game. Whereas men actually have done these things. So I can create a player and I can actually I can validate my creation based off of what actually happens in the real world. You have females that are going to be, and I mean, if you look at that trailer again, you have Brittany Griner cocking that sucker back, going up like D Wade attacking the 10. You had Candace Parker blocking Deuce Dunk. I mean, he's legitimately coming through, leaning in, and she's just straight meeting him at the apex, blocking it. Like, okay. And it's like, what up?
No, I mean, I don't have a problem with that if it's on the street. I mean, it's funny, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Okay.
I don't.
Problem. You don't have a problem with that, but see, this is the thing. A lot of people thought Madden was the exact same game, right? Until they got their hands on the sticks.
True.
Then their perception changed, right? Keith Turner probably saw all that footage and said that Madden sucks. Look what he ended up doing. So just think about this. Everybody is okay right now with females just dunking like crazy in the game until they get dunked on.
Mm-hmm.
Until now,
hold on. Flip side, I don't play the street, so that's why I say I don't care.
You don't play the street, so you're good. See, but think about this: people talk all kinds of vulgar trash online, right? What happens when a female? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
All kinds of stuff. You're opening a whole new can, and this is NBA.
I ain't gonna say nothing. It's the Time's Up Me Too movement. I ain't gonna say a word. I'm gonna just take it like a man. I ain't saying nothing.
I'm just saying this is what I'm saying. Like, this is the kind of stuff that's being opened up out here and everything. This is a whole new box. Live is going after, and I'm like, that's cool. I hope for the best that it does work out. But like I was saying before, just the main point, you have people, and like Kia said it himself. He said it last week, I think. He said, yo, if franchise ain't hitting as much as they do in with the street and all that, I may not even be messing with live. I'll just get 2K.
Yeah, man.
And others are saying that online too, because they're like, I don't care. Just like what VF said. I don't care about playing online. I don't care about playing the street. I want to play NBA basketball. And if the option's not there, then, well, what's the point? What's the point of me playing this? I'm just gonna play, 2K.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm real concerned, because when you look at what Live had, I mean, I ain't gonna say had because I don't know what 19 entails, but what they have so far, they could really build on that. I mean, I was one of the few that really played. I don't want to really play Live 15. I probably got over maybe 200 hours in Live 15. I played a lot of that game. I really, really liked Live 15. I didn't play too much of 16. 18 was where they started to go where the street ball aspect, which was cool because it's fun for like a couple of days, but it's nothing I know I'm not going to play year round. I'm a franchise mode guy. I want to run my own team. I want to make transactions. I want to win these championships on these games. I don't do all that other stuff, and I'm kind of worried because I think Live is going that route where it's going to be all street ball.
Well, I think one of the things that kind of really hinders Live, at least for me, is like I was saying, I told you about how I play Madden. I don't play much. I don't really like getting old school players, but for some reason in basketball, I do. And the fact that 2K have all these old school teams, the old Laker teams, the Bulls teams, the Celtics team, et cetera, and I can take those players and put them on current roster and play a franchise mode, and without buying the players like in MUT and edit the players and all that, that right there kills all sports genres, to be honest with you, really think about it, because now I can see, like, let me try the 95, 96 Bulls against the current team and see how that would pan out, or et cetera, et cetera. And if Live is not offering that aspect and not focusing so much on franchise, I mean, this is going to sound funny, y'all, but to be honest with you, I haven't bought a Live since 1998. Okay,
Yeah.
I was that disappointed with it, and I'm saying when I went to company, I was so disappointed. I said I'm done because you guys are taking it in a direction where I can't roll with that. I can't. It just did not bring the basketball experience that I like. And then when 2K first came out, I was like, I guess I'm not playing basketball because I didn't really give it a chance. But then one day I sat down and played it. I said, this is not only a live basketball game, this has the possibility of being one of the best sports game of all time at that point. I'm saying the AI 2K when AI was on the cover because of the realistic aspect.
Oh man, Dreamcast 2K was
man,
that was
amazing.
Oh man, it was amazing. You know,
Yeah.
and that's when it broadened my horizons on where this is what sports games need to be. Like now you had to have stick skills as well as the intelligence of playing the game.
You also have to understand back then, you talking about the Dreamcast, PS2, because I mean they will tell you I still have those games. I still have those consoles right here. I mean they would tell you I still play those games. That's all at the time, that's all they had to build their game around. They had to refine those franchise modes. They had to refine those, they had to refine the sport. Do you realize, and y'all might not even know this, MVP baseball, and we all love the EA Sports baseball title.
I saw it.
Oh yeah, MVP.
No. Let me tell you.
I know what he's about to say.
I don't think you know this.
Okay.
This might blow your mind. Did y'all know that franchise mode? You can play up to 120 seasons in that game.
Yes.
Oh, good Lord! No, I won't gonna say that.
You can run up to 100. You got to think about it.
Yep.
That's all they had to build on. It was either you played that, or there was no MUT. There was no arcade modes. They tried to push the sport on people. Why do y'all think Madden franchise mode, the owner mode in Madden back in the PS2 original Xbox days, was so flushed out? That's all they had to sell you. They couldn't sell you, they had Madden cards, but they had no way to make those they had no way to make those microtransactions. You had to earn those in the game. And don't get me wrong, I love earning these type of things. But you have to think about it. Back then, I played 82 game seasons on NBA 2K on the Dreamcast. Because when you play, they had the park mode on the Dreamcast games, but it was like lackluster because they wasn't trying to push that. They wanted to push you into an NBA experience, the NFL experience. They wanted the MLB experience. So it was like those type of things. I think that's where you see all of us now. We're in our mid-30s. Some are even older. We're the ones that
I feel like a grandpa, bro.
But we're the ones that are yearning for that. We're yearning for those type of modes to be flushed out like it was back in the day, because nowadays you look at like my nephew, he's in his teens. I have other family members that are younger. They love dressing up in, tiger stripe pants and dunking on everybody on the court. You know what I'm saying? They want to asking me for money to buy packs on these Ultimate Team stuff, because they don't realize that, look, these games were built around the actual sport that you see on TV. You know what I'm saying? They were built around that. They're kind of getting away from that. Even we could talk about how fleshed out that NBA My League or My GM is in 2K, or we can talk about all these other franchise mode, MLB The Show. But you flip side to that, they got Diamond Dynasty over there. Yep. They got My Team over there. They're giving you those modes, but you know where they're trying to nudge us to. We're not stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why that's why people that are our age, and people can say that we're somewhat little behind the times, but I don't think that we are. I think people are just being led astray the wrong route.
Yeah.
I don't think we're behind the times. We know what these companies are willing to do to make money, but we also know what the talent they really have. Madden 19, the only problem with Madden 19 is the bugs. It ain't fundamentals. Live 18 made a big jump in basketball. Great basketball game on the court, but we know what they're trying to push us to. NBA 2K, as much as they could be possibly the best sports title, period, but we know what direction they go. So it's not. We just know where they're going, but we know what they can do, and They're not going that direction, and it kind of hurts because we're the ones that know what they can do. We lived it. We don't see it. We lived it.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And the thing that hurts with Madden, and I definitely want to talk about this on another time because I could go forever about it. It's like what Smitty said, man, earlier. Why Madden? And I'm talking to the corporate folk. All of these other games, even in their own house, have fleshed out everything, and they still have their version of Ultimate Team.
Right.
Why is it that Madden? I mean, if people don't understand what Rex was telling us then, you should now. He been said it's an eternal fight. Listen, it's a battle that I'm facing. Blah, blah, blah. I just don't understand the logic behind it. Like, I won't even give them the MUT pass. Like, I know that's the easiest thing to say. Oh, it's because of MUT. It might be, but if that's the case, like VF just said, why isn't 2K have already gone that route and don't do anything with their franchise? Why haven't FIFA done that? Why hasn't, why is it just this one game we're going to decide to jerk people around because it's about the money? Like, they all should be following that same principle if it was an EA Sports thing.
Yeah.
That's my biggest beef with Madden. It's like, come on, man. Y'all got to stop. The powers that be got to stop playing us, man.
The talent is there. You see what Madden 19 does on the field right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We see what NBA 2K and NBA Live does on the court. I'm not even going to talk about NHL. That game is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all can't tell me something wrong with that game. We're going to fight. Ain't nothing. I play NHL 18. That game plays beautiful.
That game is amazing.
I don't see no problem with that game. Y'all can fight your daddy. I don't care. But anyway, like I said, we see the talent. It's just we see what's really coming on in the back end. Money. People who don't know how to adapt. I'm just going to end it like people are just dumb. They don't know the sport.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you another game too that it was kind of frustrating, and they lost the licenses. But that Rory McIlroy golf game, the gameplay was phenomenal, but the lack of career mode on there was horrendous. Yeah. Because especially when The Last Tiger, I don't know if you guys played The Last Tiger.
That was nice.
Simulation mode.
14.
Yeah.
14. Yeah,
Simulation mode.
Simulation mode.
I still got that game.
Me too. I still play it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? People online still play it too.
Exactly. And what made it so nice was you can put your face on there.
Yep.
If you had the 13, you can carry over your character. He wouldn't start at the bottom, but he wouldn't be all the way to the top, but he have good attributes where he can get better. The way that they did their majors, they rotated it like you wouldn't have the U.S. Open at the same place. It was just like it is in real life. So here you go. You have like a 3-year window, and you're expecting it to be like the carry on. And the first thing they come out, we don't have a master's license no more, and this and that, and only have like 12 realistic courses.
It's kind of unfortunate, like how they let what is that company that has a PJ Light? Don't get me wrong, they make a great golf game.
Club.
Yeah, golf club.
Yeah, golf
and they
club.
make a great game. I'm really looking forward to it, but it is kind of unfortunate because I honestly didn't know that it was like an exclusive thing. I thought more companies could have it.
Yeah. And then the fact that you get to create your own course, that's going to be nice too, and share it with other people.
Yeah,
that's going to open up the horizons as well. So,
but like I said, once again, the talent is there, man. I mean, people don't want to see it because they want to lean on whatever glitch they see, whatever bug they see. I mean, if you got people like NY Kid who can literally go for hours breaking down concepts, plays over and over again, and they refuse to look at that, but they're ready to see a 30-second clip on Twitter just to laugh and have jokes, that just goes to tell you one or two things. They just want to see the game torn down, or when they actually play the game themselves, they don't know how to play the game, so when they can't run the ball, they're just going to find something to lean on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what it is. It's like you can't sit 3 seconds in the pocket no more. You can't run the ball like you thought you could before. You got to look at the coverages. If you think the coverages are broken, don't make a video when you see something wrong. Live stream it for a couple of hours, or live stream it for 30 minutes and show us. Because it's easy. It's easy to make a clip. Oh, you can play the game for 20 minutes, and I finally found something. I'm gonna upload it. I mean that's nothing. That's 1 out of every 50 plays you already ran.
And you know what?
To me, that's a high success rate.
Exactly, and not to mention, a lot of people are not talking about this, but the ID to Mike works a lot better this year. If you picked up that blitzer, then it's going to give you that more time. Man, so you got to read the defense.
Man, y'all, man, these people are lucky that I work 15, 16 hours a day because I'll live stream it myself. I mean, I got the power to do it. I can live stream it and do it myself, but I just don't have the time. But that's why I like people like NYKia. He does something that cannot be disputed. The days of just making a video when you see something wrong is over. I mean, you got a PS4 or Xbox One, you can click 2 buttons and just start live streaming.
Exactly.
Go and show me how many times this linebacker's not doing this. Yeah. Go and show me how many times that the defense or the lineman not blocking correctly. Because I'm gonna tell you, if it happens 1 out of every 10 plays, me personally, I don't think nothing's wrong with the game.
No.
If it does 1 out of every 10 plays, something. I mean, you gotta think about it. You play real football. How many times somebody blows miss a block?
All the time.
How many times somebody blows a coverage?
Yeah.
I can promise you it ain't 1 out of 10 times. It's more than that.
Yep.
Hell, I played defensive back. Hell, I know I didn't blow a coverage more than 1 out of 10. I blown coverage more than 1 out of 10 times.
Yep.
I've done it. I mean, you're human. This is going to happen.
Which is why I didn't go to the NFL. Exactly why.
I mean, I played college ball, and when I played college ball, I'm like, okay, I don't know the whole playbook, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna mess something up. Coach will get on me, and it is what it is. You're not going to get it right every time, so why would you expect the game to do that?
Yeah.
I just want to add this real quick, because I know we're getting at the end of the show, but this
is
real quick,
Smitty. I was going to say that.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and wrap up. But everybody give their last thoughts of the night. So go ahead and kick it off, man.
Go ahead. I already talked enough. I talked too much. Go
ahead. I'll just say this real quick. This one thing that people got to understand. Yes, football is a very imperfect sport. You literally seen in one of these preseason games, somebody shown a clip. You literally saw an offensive lineman turntable. Like, he was turning around, not blocking anybody. He literally did a circle looking, and he looked completely lost.
In the NFL?
On one of the plays. Yeah, I know in the NFL.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, so it happens. And this is the other thing I'll end it with is I know people love to pull up APF, love to bring up 2K5 and say, well, how come it's so consistent? Think about this. You can't audible your D-line. You can't adjust anybody. You can't say, hey, I want everybody to fan to the left, fan to the right. I want them to twist all of a sudden. You got to pick that stuff at the beginning because initially it's already predetermined how that initial engagement is going to play. So that's why when you do stuff like that, it makes it a heck of a lot cleaner and it's going to be a lot more efficient because you already have it predetermined off rip before you even snap the ball. You know what I'm saying? When you have something that's more dynamic, look at Madden, look at Backbreaker. You've had that stuff happen in Backbreaker, right? Beautiful pockets you'll see form organically. But then you also had plays where you're scratching your head. What the heck? How come this blocker ain't doing this? And how come they ain't doing that? And how come he left this assignment? And how come he did that? Same things that we be saying about Madden. It's not full on scripted like that. So that's why you have that kind of stuff happen. It's just facts. You see what I'm saying? Now, yes, there are things that need to be refined in Madden. We need stunts and all that stuff. It's crazy we haven't had them yet, but we need all that stuff in the game. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just adding that little point on top, but we going to keep doing what we do, stream, send feedback, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all I wanted to add on, man. Call the wrap on that.
What you got, Brett?
All I got to say is you guys just show some patience, man. It's only hadn't even been a week yet, and show some patience and let them give them a chance to get this game together and get your game together. Start learning what you need to do to make yourself be a better player, and it'll work itself out. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna still be on these sticks playing it. So whether people like it or not, I'm gonna still be there. So patient, everybody. It will get there. It will get there. We still got a whole year to try to hopefully get them to convince them to change some things in the near future for next year. But let's just be patient and be respectful on viewing your opinions. That's the biggest thing.
Man, and I want you guys to take a look at that video I just posted in the chat. This is some future stuff that has to change. The 2-man animations and forced sequences. Look at this guy's video. Now, we all know what happens when you Frankenstein the game. You know, Smitty has tested this stuff for years. I believe 2K have done a better job with 2K5 being able to compensate for the overly big guy, overly small guy. Have done it a little better than Madden. It wasn't perfect. But even though... somebody said they can't click the link. Let me see.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, it's working. It's working. So that might just be you, brother. But it's working for most of everybody else.
He caught it with the back of his hand?
Yes. This is the problem, man. This is a huge problem. I would like to see them get away from that kind of stuff. Yeah. Because it kills the game. You know, it's hard for us to say this is a simulation in any sport. Cause let's not act like it's just Madden. We've seen craziness like this in 2K.
2K, yeah.
And again, I'm not a huge soccer buff and all of that, but I swear FIFA and PES does it the best with eliminating so much override when there's a man-to-man interaction. Madden needs to get to that. The trenches definitely needs to be more dynamic. But I will agree with what Smitty said. There are dynamic things going on in Madden. It's still not quite all the way there yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all I got, man. I look forward to seeing what these games are gonna do. I see Smitty shaking his head. That video is terrible. You guys watch it.
It is. I mean, it's just. I mean,
horrendous.
The guy's arm is backwards. Look at this.
Yeah. I'm looking at that.
Oh man, it's bad.
You gotta send this. This is a link we need to send them to the devs with this one.
Oh yeah, I'm going straight to him with this one.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I already did. We got a doc that we that we do. You know, talk to the devs. Smitty saw it.
I got an honest question. I got an honest question about this. How were they going to fix this? I'm not saying
I don't know,
but I mean, this is no different than modding a game, and you modding a game, and you're upset because of the outcome because you altered the game.
Perfect question. I agree.
I mean, you can make the game as perfect as you want. Like the devs can do whatever they're supposed to make this game work right. But when you mess up the algorithm of software, things are going to change. This is just, I mean, that's just, see, this is me. Because I play on PC, and this is no different from you making a weapon OP in Battlefield. Because you have guys who
can do it. Yeah.
I mean, you have people on PC who actually hack the game and do stuff like that. What is a developer supposed to do when you hack a game like that?
Well,
I mean, be honest. What are they supposed to do? They're helpless to stuff like that. Once the game comes out, it comes out.
One of the things they can do, and this is just my opinion on it, is you put limitations on what you possibly can do on certain positions. Like, to me, I don't know how tall this receiver. He looks like he's 6'7", 6'8".
He made him 7 foot.
He made him 7 feet.
Okay. Now listen to this. Let's just really think about this. You're gonna have a 7. What 7-footer has ever been in the NFL? In any position.
Right.
So why even allow
Too Tall Jones? Almost.
Too Tall Jones is the closest.
Is the closest. Yeah.
Oh, we got one right now. Villanueva, he's 6'8", 6'9". Calais Campbell, 6'8", yeah.
But he's offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Have no 7-footer running down the field with a 95 speed, 90-something plus speed, being able to catch the rock like that. Eliminate that. Don't have limitations with that. Like, I don't know if you guys play with MLB The Show. You notice that how you can't have 99s on every attribute, which is good.
No, you're not, and I get it. You're not wrong by doing that, but you're talking about once that software is out in the open.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Now you got a guy who don't like Madden is going to do something crazy to the game just for
just try to
just so he can have a popular YouTube video.
Exactly.
He's going to exploit the game.
Yeah,
and everybody, but the devs can't do nothing.
They got to fix the core though. Cause see, Smitty and I have talked to them for years with this. They have to get the game to at least respect some of the real life attributes, like height, mass, physical stature. Like at least if that stuff was relevant, you wouldn't get it looking so ugly. Like I get what you're saying. Definitely, if you Frankenstein something, it's gonna go haywire.
Yeah, but no matter what the devs do, man, once they get it out in the public, that's like you trying to tell somebody not to burn a CD that they about to put out.
Oh yeah.
It's almost the same thing.
Yeah, but see, I think too is if you're saying that this is the real player physics and mechanics, then let it be the real player physics and mechanics.
Got to kick in.
You got to put that in.
No, I do agree with that. I do understand.
Because the fact that there's no way we're gonna ever see somebody like that. And if it was, he'd be the highest paid athlete of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but see, perception is everything, and that's another thing that hurts us as sim gamers. We know. I mean, most of us played football, or we know about football. We know this type of stuff ain't cool, or ain't supposed to happen. But when you have low information people see stuff like this, they're thinking that this is coming straight out of Orlando. No, this is some clown. You know what I'm saying? This is some clown that just messed up the game, and now you thinking that, EA is trash. No, he did that. That's not, you know what I'm saying?
And what kills me is, again, we all have to be open and sports-minded to all of these games. Because let's not forget how much we all, and probably still in 18, in 2K, how people talk about how you got these 7-foot Allen Iversons out there. Like,
man. The thing now is what it is now. You got guys on PC straight up hack the game where guys got like 12-foot arms in the game.
Jeez.
I mean, the body structure is regular, but they don't hack the game so they have 12-foot arms. So if you play on the My Park on PC, that's what you got to deal with. I played it like 3 seconds. I was done.
Yeah.
Remember Crew? In 2K11, people hacking that and making
30-foot players,
gigantic players and stuff.
It happens, but that's not 2K. That's not 2K fault. It's these stupid clowns.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I hate about it. Now they got us people thinking that y'all don't know what they talk about. Look what they did. No, EA 2K didn't do that.
See, you know what? But see, the thing is that when you do tests like that, it's one thing to test out the physical nature of the game. But at the same time, did they develop the game to account for that? Was that the intent? Because even, like I did a test years ago in 2K5 where I made the minimal height, minimal weight O-lineman, and he was getting folded up. But they had the game suited for a certain weight class. Because if you put him at a certain weight criteria, now he could hold the D-lineman.
I know how to fix it. I know how to fix it. See what I'm saying? I know how to fix it. We all know the average size of a receiver, right? Mm-hmm. If you make a receiver too small or you make him too large, it should lock you. It should lock that person not even putting them on the field or putting them on the court. Just lock that player out. If you got a 6'10" receiver out there talking about you about to Frankenstein the game, it should be a notification on there saying that this person does not meet the qualifications to be played in the game.
And just leave it at that.
Yeah.
You put a 5'5" quarterback out there talking about I'm Russell Wilson Jr. No, you're too small. You cannot play.
Yeah, I see.
The only way, you know what I'm saying?
I see faults on. I think we all agree. I see faults on both sides. Like I think if EA did, or any gaming company, if they did a better job with making physical attributes actually matter, then it would eliminate some of it. But at the same time, what are you expecting to get out of an outcome like that? What am I expecting to see? So I think both sides there's some negativity there on both sides. The one doing the creating and
I'm gonna say this real quick. I know you got to go. And the last thing about it is one of the things that if they were to do that, then that probably affect like the game mode Gauntlet mode. I don't know if you guys played it, but guys it's like 20 feet tall. And, stuff like that would kind of get eliminated because it might have some type of coding to eliminate that. But you know what? If that's the case, so be it. I won't miss it. So,
Well, yeah, guys, we have gone over time. Y'all know about, and I can't really cry about it, man. But my one unfortunate day of the week that I have to go into the office is Friday. Y'all know the story, but for you newcomers, I always tell it. I commute in from Pennsylvania to DC on Friday every week. The rest of the time, I work from home. So I say all that to say this. I have to wrap up. I got to get up tomorrow at 5 a.m. But we appreciate everybody who came on. Brett for coming on, VF for coming on, man. And y'all, you guys are always welcome. Anybody I missed or if I didn't respond back, we got to kind of keep it kind of minimum to a minimum when you're on Skype. I mean, I think more than 4 people at one time is a little too much.
Oh, trust me, I used to do it that way. Ask Smitty. It is too much.
Yeah, that's a little too much. So if you want to come on, man, hit me up early. Maybe even hit me tomorrow or something. Let me know if you want to come on next week. And you guys are always welcome to just call in real quick. We might not hold you on the panel, but that's always open. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. VF, thanks for coming on tonight. Brett, thanks for coming on. No Smitty, you already know. So
yeah, man.
There it is, man. We'll have more to talk about. And actually, I'd like to get you two guys back on after we've had a chance to at least play live or NBA 2K, since we did talk about that tonight, and we'll revisit the conversation.
Demo will be out next week, so.
Oh, that's right.
Especially if you do the New Zealand trick, we may be able to play it before the show.
Yeah, they probably play it like on Tuesday or something like that. I think if you got a New Zealand account, I think you can get it on Tuesday.
On Tuesday?
I think my Xbox is set up like that. My Xbox.
I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but more likely probably Tuesday.
Okay. I thought they're 24 hours ahead, so I thought it would be like on Thursday because the demo come out Friday.
Yeah, but I think it's like late Tuesday night.
Okay.
Wow.
We'll see.
Check it and see, because I know. Okay. Check it and see.
Okay. Yeah, I did that. I did that with the X1, so I was one of those people who did that. So we'll see. But all right, guys, man, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. This was a great show. For you guys listening and you for guys on the panel, man, hope everybody has a great and safe weekend and enjoy your games. Forget what they saying. Just do what you like to do and have your fun.
All right.
All the time.
Appreciate it.
All right. Peace. Catch y'all next week.
All right. Peace.